It has always been tame in my version of the apocalypse. I never sought out the glory or the stakes of taking on the most brutal of the flesh eaters, nor do I intend to fight toe-to-toe with the mercenaries on the bounty board. I've always been content with a bit of everything, helping out the survivors of Palehaven, seeing their smiles and frowns as they get what they want or lose what they need. It's strange to realize that Chief Banks has been more helpful to the new blood of Dalbo compared to when I was starting out. Back then, he was a grumpy mess and did no favors in trying to actually help me. But I guess with the apocalypse, you tend to lose a bit of yourself and gain a bit of it back little by little. Chief Banks may have lost his humanity for a time, but with more people helping around the archives of Palehaven, I'm glad to see he's regained his empathy. Now, I settle most of my time in Greywood. I run a few errands here and there. I scavenge nearby police stations and hospitals for supplies to sell at a decent price. The cycle repeats itself. And then I come to a strange conclusion. Is this all there is? Here's the thing. When you strip away the adrenaline, the apocalypse is just a chore. It's a grueling, repetitive checklist. The world ended, but the bills of existence still need to be paid. In blood, in sweat, and in tax. We romanticize the survival, but we forget the monotony. Yet I have to remind myself that what is tedious to me is someone else's desperate expense. The spare ammo I would casually just throw away or sell, and even discard in my inventory, might be the exact line between life and death for a scavenger running out of options. Everyone needs a fix-up, and while some sell, some stare, some hope, and some die. Furthermore, some quit trying to cope. But this is okay, because it's not for everyone. Death claims us all in the end. If you think about it, the streets don't care about your achievements. While the hot-headed glory seekers run into the zone to carve their names into the pavement, looking for status or a spot on the leaderboards, there are just those people willing to live an honest hustle, enabling the marketplace for them to do what they do. If you think about it as well, the glory doesn't keep the lights on. It's the honest ones. The quiet traders, the merchers, the persistent scavengers, people who actually check the market and supply the medicine. They keep the broken economy afloat. We are the backbone of a world that refused to stop spinning because the dead started walking. At some point, when we've gotten everything we needed to get, survival stops being the main priority. Once you have a roof over your head, a stash that isn't empty, or a reliable weapon in your hands, the baseline goal is met. You're alive. But just because you've secured survival doesn't mean you have to stop living. There is a distinction between merely breathing and actually existing. If we reduce our entire lives to just avoiding the bite, then the infection has already won, trapping our minds long before it ever touches our flesh. We have to find something to do with the quiet hours. So I look at my repetitive routine, the errands in Greywood, the familiar weight of my gear, and I realize something. Purpose isn't something dictated by the end of the world. It's not defined by how the apocalypse limits you or how narrow the streets of Palehaven have become. Purpose is what you choose to make out of the ruins. If my purpose is to be a steady hand that provides, the quiet face in the crowd who ensures the next generation of survivors survives with a fair price, then that is enough, because that is the purpose I desired. The world may have changed, but the necessity of internal growth never stopped. We aren't just surviving in the end, we're building what comes next, one mundane, meaningful day at a time. Repetition is consistency, and consistency enables existence. Despite everything, losing other survivors, friends, and even gaining new ones, I am a survivor, one like many others, and how I live is how I live. After all, this is still the world we share. And this is our dead frontier.